Tonight, as Sudan's violent power struggle intensifies, so do the concerns of loved ones in Canada.
People are really broken. They couldn't believe that things could escalate that fast.
The latest on global efforts to move citizens to safety. New rules aimed at protecting airline passenger rights. How will they fare?
The regulations as they are today are a mess.
Next to you. Singing for the top, my conversation with a young Canadian poised for American Idol success. Do you feel like your country is rooting for you?
Oh, I totally do.
This is The National with Anita Bath.
Good evening. Ian is away tonight. In Sudan, one ceasefire after another has collapsed under hails of gunfire. Two warring military factions continue to tear the country apart as foreign governments start to pull their people. The UK, the US, and Canada are among the countries that closed embassies and got staff out, navigating dangerous land, sea, and air routes. But the fighting in Sudan has already killed hundreds and put so many more in danger. Katie Simpson has the diplomatic exodus and the growing desperation of civilians who still have no easy way out.
Through a dangerous landscape, the convoys move with urgency and caution. Diplomats from around the world are shuttled to different departure points. The unrelenting violence in the Sudanese capital prompting a wide range of countries to get their staffers out.
We have taken the decision to temporarily close the British Embassy in Khartoum.
Multiple boats transported diplomats and their families to Saudi Arabia. Germany airlifted their team out, as did France and the United Kingdom.
It was dangerous and precarious, but nevertheless we managed to use both C-130s and A400 aircraft to go in, collect our diplomats and their residents.
The U.S. president personally authorized one of the riskier rescue missions, sending helicopters to land near the U.S. Embassy. The Secretary of State monitoring as diplomats fled under the protection of heavily armed soldiers.
This is a temporary suspension. It's my hope and theirs that we will be able to return to Khartoum and the situation will stabilize.
Foreign Minister Melanie Joly confirmed on Twitter that Canadian diplomats are safe and working from a location outside the country. Canadians in Sudan have previously been urged to shelter in place until the situation stabilizes, while registering with Global Affairs for information and support updates.
Fighting is still ongoing, and it is very, very difficult for many Sudanese people.
The fighting between the military and a paramilitary force for control of Sudan has left hundreds dead and thousands more wounded. But the true scope of the violence is believed to be much more severe. Civilians are running out of food and communication systems are spotty.
Internet is already going down. There's a possibility of phone networks also following suit, and that will pose a very, very big challenge to people to coordinate.
Katie, what else are we hearing about how the Canadian diplomats got out?
Canada relied on other countries for assistance, although officials are not saying exactly how much help was needed and what was provided. As part of this operation, countries collaborated, and we've seen pictures, video, and statements about what they did from the U.S., the UK, France, and Germany. Canada's foreign minister and global affairs, neither are saying anything deeply detailed. Senior government sources tell me they see this as an active operation and they fear they'll jeopardize security and safety if they share details about the Canadians, even though other countries are talking about their own efforts.
Katie, thank you.
Thanks.
Diplomats may have gotten out, but Jamie Strachan is speaking with those here in Canada with ties to Sudan, looking on in horror as family and friends struggle to find not just safety, but basic necessities.
It is heartbreaking.
For Sudanese Canadians, the days are filled with anguish and uncertainty. Their loved ones caught in a conflict that's quickly spiraled out of control.
They're telling me that it is extremely bad. People are really broken. They couldn't believe that things could escalate that fast.
Nearly everyone at this Toronto rally had stories of family escaping danger. This woman's sisters and their children had to flee the capital of Khartoum.
They are scared for the kids.
The violence has affected food, power, and water supplies, leaving people desperate.
Khartoum is located in the Nile River. There is Blue Nile, White Nile. People are now taking water from the Nile directly. And even that is difficult to reach whenever there is a fight going on.
While the Canadian government has suspended its embassy operations, evacuating diplomatic staff, for others, including Sudanese Canadians, the way out is uncertain. Few foreign governments can provide a safe passage right now, with lines of communication fractured.
Myself and my family members outside of Sudan have been coordinating an evacuation of my mother, my aunt, my cousins, my brother, through Khartoum.
This McGill University professor was able to get his family on a bus to Egypt. Reaching the border will take days.
Statements by Global Affairs telling people to shelter in place. Unfortunately, this is not like the case of COVID and others. Sheltering in place over time just simply does not work in terms of safety and food supplies.
Back in Toronto, 10,000 kilometers from Khartoum, all people can do is hope and pray for those in Sudan and hope this brutal conflict ends soon. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
A frightening moment for air passengers in Charlotte, North Carolina earlier this week. This social media video captures the alarm when passengers realized the wing of their plane was on fire. The American Airlines jet was lining up to take off when the flames burst out. No injuries, but plenty of shaken nerves.
Everyone was trying to panic, but it was like we couldn't go anywhere either. So I think that was the biggest scare.
Luckily, cabin crew noticed the fire right away and quickly powered down the engines. The plane was taken out of service and passengers were rebooked onto other flights. Air passengers in this country are expected to hear more tomorrow about government plans to protect their rights. A promise to deal with complaints about delays and cancellations and how airlines have handled them. Sarah Levitt now with the frustration and the push for a fix.
Not a good stay for us.
Gregor Svalinsky and his wife were supposed to be in Frankfurt yesterday, but their flight from Fort Lauderdale was delayed, making them miss their connection in Montreal.
We rebook automatically to the next flight. The one is to stay here in Montreal one night.
Compensation from their airline? A few $10 food vouchers.
I feel, really terrible and tired.
The Canadian Transportation Agency has been flooded with nearly 45,000 complaints in the past year. Now, Ottawa is putting airlines on notice. The Minister of Transport is set to give more details Monday on new rules for passenger rights. One of Ottawa's main goals with this legislation is to close a loophole that allowed airlines to claim a delay or a cancellation was due to safety concerns. Now, they'll have to prove that's the case or pay up.
They want to get away with paying nothing to people when something goes wrong.
They're inconveniencing people and losing bags. I think there is a great deal of obligation that should feel to customers.
Some of the other changes coming include an increase in the maximum fine for violating regulations from $25,000 to $250,000. Complaints made to the Canadian Transportation Agency will be looked at within 30 days and a decision made within 90.
The regulations as they are today are a mess.
This aviation expert says the new rules are needed, but he says the current complaint process doesn't work.
We've got to create a new, more streamlined, more effective way of putting those, of dealing with those complaints, make sure the visibility is there on the resolution of those complaints.
The government says it's about moving the burden off passengers and onto airlines. The new rules go into effect September 30th. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
Canada's largest public service union has let the government know it could escalate its tactics tomorrow. Marina von Stackelberg has more tonight as each side blames the other and the strike drags on.
They've been in front of Parliament and government office buildings. Now more than 100,000 civil servants may soon occupy new strike locations. The union is threatening to escalate action if a deal isn't reached soon.
I would expect to see our picket lines a little bit more active tomorrow, probably at some more strategic locations. That's going to impact the government and not Canadians.
Chris Aylward says the union will target the government's revenue streams. The union says ports may be one option, but won't say what they plan to do. Mona Forche is president of the Treasury Board, the federal body negotiating with the union. She has a warning.
I just want to make sure that if they do have, other type of picket lines, it has to be lawful.
Thank you for being out here today.
Tensions are mounting. Aylward has accused Forche of incompetence.
I won't be distracted by kicking and screaming.
Forche says the federal government is not drafting any legislation right now to force employees back to work. The union says it has $43 million available to pay striking workers $75 a day and an extra $200 million from other sources.
The strike pay is not an issue at all. And I want to make that very clear, that we have access to funds, that this strike can go on for an extremely long time. We're hoping it won't.
I'm doing a fair amount of talking and chanting and camaraderie, which is why hence my voice sounds like this.
This civil servant says she's saved up money to stay on the picket line as long as needed.
Inflation is definitely rising, and all prices, whether it be groceries, gas, childcare, housing.
And as the cost of living goes up, Carolyn Eves says her pay has not. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Ottawa.
Torontonians came together to mark 5 years since one of Canada's worst mass murders, a hate-motivated vehicle attack that killed 11 people. Today's service was filled with music and tributes to victims of that horrific incident on April 23, 2018. That's when a man angry at his perceived rejection by women deliberately drove a rented van down a busy Toronto sidewalk. Organizers called today's memorial a place to remember and to heal.
And the purpose is to gather the community after this long pandemic to be able to hold space for those who still carry trauma and pain from that day. There are victims, families who are here. There are first responders who are here.
After the indoor service, attendees moved outside to a city square where they released paper boats in honor of victims and their families. A horrific scene is unfolding in Kenya tonight, where dozens of bodies have been discovered at the base of an alleged cult. As Susanna De Silva explains, it's believed those victims were told to starve themselves in order to meet Jesus.
As quickly as they dig, another body is discovered, at least 47 so far.
The people who have been coming here, I can see none of us have seen our relative, but we are just finding.
This man searching for his wife, son, and in-laws, fearful they may be found here after booking one-way flights to the region, leaving all their possessions behind.
So when I get to search our phone, I see someone. I told them they are going to see Jesus on date 8, and she went missing on date 7.
That promised meeting to come after starving herself to death. All allegedly encouraged by this man, Pastor Paul Mackenzie, arrested in March in connection with the deaths of 2 children allegedly starved by their parents. Police then tipped off about his property in a coastal forest near the town of Malindi, north of Mombasa. 15 people were rescued, 4 later died, many apparently still believing.
She absolutely refused to, be administered with first aid, wanting to continue with her fast until she dies. And this basically signifies the magnitude of this issue.
A government minister tweeted that this investigation must lead not only to the most severe punishment of the perpetrator of the atrocity on so many innocent souls, but tighter regulation, including self-regulation, of every church, mosque, temple, or synagogue going forward.
Hallelujah. Tuko pamoja.
YouTube videos show the pastor preaching to large crowds, and officials fear there are many more followers out there. Some worry police threats to charge survivors with attempted suicide aren't helping.
This basically meant that more out there who have seen this are afraid of coming out. So these are victims. These are not criminals. We need psychosocial counseling so that they can be, de-radicalized.
Officials are visiting nearby villages, fearful the death toll will continue to grow. Susanna De Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.
Bed Bath & Beyond has announced it's beyond hope. The home goods retailer has filed for bankruptcy protection in the United States. The chain shot to popularity in the 1990s with its vast selection of sheets, towels, and kitchen gadgets. It has struggled for years with weak sales and was never able to switch to a successful online strategy during COVID. In February, the company announced the closing of its Canadian stores. And British Columbia's multi-billion-dollar wine industry could take a hit this year. Vineyards in the Okanagan Valley are dealing with serious damage from a harsh winter cold snap. As Brady Strachan shows us, that's bad news for growers and a thriving tourism industry that relies on them.
Okay, so we can cut this bud. That's how we check the damage.
South Okanagan grape grower Balwinder Dhaliwal doesn't like what he's seeing. These tiny buds on his vines are what will turn into this year's grape crop.
And if you can go a little bit more deeper, yeah, they're brown and black. So that means that this is done.
Extreme cold last December froze the delicate buds solid. The damage is unlike anything he's seen in his 30 years of growing grapes.
Every single variety is damaged. So we'll lose at least 50 to 70%.
These vines here in Oliver were damaged in the cold snap. This field here is just one of 600 acres of Dhaliwal's vineyards that sustained damage over the winter.
Crop loss is projected right across the Okanagan Valley, where the vast majority of BC's wine grapes are grown. The BC wine industry is estimating a 50% drop in grape production this year. The winter damage is the latest in a string of extreme weather events to hit the region, everything from excessive heat and wildfire smoke to flooding and extreme cold.
So this is all combining to having an effect on our grape production. And over the last 5 or 6 years, we've slowly seen a decrease up to 30% in what we should be getting off of what we know is planted. So we attribute it to climate change.
We're beholden to Mother Nature.
A reduced harvest will impact winemakers like David Patterson. For a region so dependent on tourism, he's worried about a ripple effect if there's less wine to go around.
Tasting rooms not being able to open because they just don't have the wine. Well, if the tasting room's not open, that's not going to drive tourism. It's going to be a negative effect on tourism.
It's just a dry wood, right?
Back in Oliver, Balwinder Dhaliwal is cutting his losses, literally chopping down this block of Roussan vines that were significantly damaged.
This variety is toast, it's done. And then we just cut it off and we can put in the new variety.
He says responding to the changing climate is the only way forward. Brady Strachan, CBC News, Oliver, British Columbia.
A Toronto family is speaking out after a pair of celebrity-backed cleats falls short of expectations.
Can't believe they offer a shoe that's $400+ and it falls apart in less than 3 months.
Why Nike refused a refund, and a Disney show goes up in flames, forcing the audience to flee. The Canadian who jigged her way to the top of the podium.
I think it's the closest thing to flying. It's the best feeling ever.
We're back in 2. Don't let the music fool you. This was not regularly scheduled programming at Disneyland. Rather, a 14-meter-tall dragon burst into flames last night, forcing a partial evacuation at the California theme park.
Due to unforeseen circumstances, this performance of Phantasmic cannot continue.
The fire happened on Tom Sawyer Island, which has been part of Disneyland for nearly 70 years. The extent of the damage is not yet clear, but no injuries have been reported. The editor-in-chief of a German magazine has been fired after publishing a fake interview with Michael Schumacher. The publication featured the former F1 driver's face on the cover and promised his first interview since he suffered a serious brain injury in 2013. But that interview was actually generated by artificial intelligence. As a result, Schumacher's family has threatened legal action. Now the magazine is apologizing, saying the article was tasteless and did not meet journalistic standards. And a Canadian family is speaking out after going toe-to-toe with Nike over a high-end line of soccer cleats. At issue is the fact that they cost more than $400, and in just 10 weeks, they started breaking down. Erica Johnson has this Go Public investigation.
He's been playing soccer since age 3, dreams of joining the big leagues. Idolizes the legendary player Cristiano Ronaldo. So, when he endorsed a new pair of Nike soccer cleats last fall, Spencer wanted in.
He's one of the best in the world, and it was his last signature shoe that they were going to make with him.
Nike touted advanced technology, lightweight mesh for better ball control. But it's the star power that makes certain shoes winners, says this marketing prof.
Your peers are going to think you're special because you have these shoes on, and these shoes are going to make you feel better because they're his shoes.
Spencer antes up some of his own cash for the $400 shoes. His parents cover the rest. But just 10 weeks later, the left cleat tears open.
I was super frustrated because it just felt like a waste of money at that point.
They send the shoes back to Nike for help.
We've received your claim product.
But it's a missed shot. Nike says the torn cleat is not a result of a material or manufacturing fault.
I can't believe they offer a shoe that's $400+ and it falls apart in less than 3 months. It doesn't make any sense.
This cobbler says the shoe's split looks like a design issue.
Where the rubber logo was placed is exactly right at the bend of the foot. So while he is playing and bending his foot, the materials are sort of fighting against one another.
Spencer couldn't play with the damaged cleats, so his parents bought another pair of Nikes, shelled out another $400. But again, the shoes didn't last. In less than 3 months, both soles cracked. In a statement to Go Public, Nike said the quality and performance of its products is of utmost importance, and it believes the ripped Ronaldo cleat was a one-off. It had no comment about the second pair. Nike also reached out to Spencer's family about both pairs of cleats, saying they've scored a full refund. Erica Johnson, CBC News, Vancouver.
And of course, our Go Public stories come from you. So if you have a tip for the team to investigate, please send an email to gopublic@cbc.ca. Well, actor Ryan Reynolds has gotten his Hollywood ending. The Welsh soccer team he co-owns won its league title on Saturday.
Champions! Wrexham are promoted!
It means for the first time in 15 years, Wrexham will be promoted to a higher tier of English soccer. Reynolds and his business partner were among the crowd of more than 10,000 to watch the victory, which he then carried over to the post-game press conference.
Foster. Jersey now.
This is his jersey, yeah. This stinks, by the way. Honestly, this absolutely stinks.
Are you wearing an undershirt?
Yeah.
Give me your jersey.
That's Reynolds crashing the briefing to demand the Wrexham goalkeeper's jersey. He also took the shirt worn by one of the midfielders and then left. Well, another Canadian is also hoping for a big win. My conversation with a Canadian contestant vying for American Idol glory. And the tiny homes making a massive difference.
If you were still out on the street for those 3 years, where do you think you'd be at?
Oh boy, I don't know. Probably dead or something.
The National takes you deeper into the stories shaping our world next. Tens of thousands of people in Canada start their day wondering where they'll sleep at night. Since COVID, most cities have experienced at least one homeless encampment, and homelessness in this country has become a big chronic problem. But as Nick Purdon shows us, one solution may actually be quite tiny.
Coming from being out there on the street, I've seen people cry when they get their keys to their house. Thank you for saving my soul. That's what they would say.
But, you know, if all goes well, it's like...
You know, we may not want to think about this, but on any given night, as many as 35,000 Canadians don't have a place to sleep. There are homeless encampments in every city, all across the country. The Canadian Human Rights Commission calls this a human rights crisis. So I'm here in Kitchener-Waterloo because they're trying to do something about it. Could these tiny homes be a solution to the crisis? This place is called a better tent city. There are 42 buildings, 50 or so people live here, people who otherwise would be living on the street. Nadine Green lives in this yellow house.
This is about people who are homeless, and I'm sure people may say, oh, these houses are little. This is better than not if you have nowhere to go, this is it. Picture having nowhere to live. Picture sleeping under a bridge to having your own house where you can open your door.
Nadine and a few other people built this place from scratch with private money. And now she works here. She's kind of the superintendent.
Hey Diana, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I can't find the bathroom keys.
The first resident I meet is Diana Myers.
Okay.
Diana lived in a tent before moving here. What does it mean to you to have a house?
A house means a lot to me. Without a house, I don't know what I would do. I feel safe. I feel good about myself, that I'm not on the street, that I have a roof over my head.
And how long have you lived here?
3 years.
So if you've been here 3 years.
Yeah.
If you were still out on the street for those 3 years, where do you think you'd be at?
Oh boy, I don't know. Probably dead or something.
Maybe I shouldn't be surprised that those are the stakes here.
And see, you want to see the showers.
Today, Diana says she's doing well.
Got it.
She feels part of something. The residents here all have responsibilities, and Diana shows Nadine how she cleaned the showers.
Yeah, give them a good clean.
Has anybody seen David? Have you seen David?
Nadine tells me that one of the main reasons people here became homeless is addiction. And she decided that a better tent city would try to address that.
No, I just wanted to know if you want to go to methadone. Okay, so is Charles going? Is he home? Are you going to go? Like, the ride is ready. Megan, you ready?
The residents get a ride to a methadone clinic.
I'm just trying to gather up people so they can go to deal with their addiction.
Nadine is proud of the things they do here for residents, like the meals they serve every day with the help of volunteers in the local food bank. It's in the kitchen I meet Jeff Wilmer. Now, he's one of the other people who started this place. As a longtime city planner, he knew the loophole to get the houses built in the first place.
So I knew that if we were going to build buildings that were under 10 square meters and didn't have any plumbing, they don't need building permits. So that was really opened the door for this initiative, that we could situate as many as we wanted, really, and there should be no questions about why didn't we get building permits. We don't need building permits, period. We've got a few people sleeping on couches, so keep it quiet.
Jeff says that the houses here are in high demand. Every day there are people sleeping in the common room. A Better Tent City now has a waiting list.
This is a stopgap measure. This is not the end solution, although it's a pretty good stopgap measure. And this is partly why we called it a better tent city. It's not perfect, but it's better than living in a tent because you've got your own cabin with insulation and electricity and heat, and you've got meals and you've got community. All those things are better.
Jeff says he knows the place works because he spends time with the people here, like Beverly Melanson.
Didn't even notice you there.
Bev tells Jeff about when a volunteer first gave her her house.
He came up and he said, "Bev, come here," and I went out to him, and he was dingling the keys. He said, "Merry Christmas."
The keys to your own house?
Yeah, so I just started crying.
I guess.
You know, I mean, after being homeless for like 10 years. So I went and ran into the house, turned my heater on, and I didn't take nothing from my tent or anything. I just laid there like, oh, this is so nice.
For Jeff, maybe the biggest measure of success of a Better Tent City is that a dozen cities across the country have contacted him because they want to do the same thing. In fact, just a few kilometers away, the Waterloo region has built 50 tiny houses of their own.
This is a response to the chronic issue of homelessness in our community. It's an attempt to try something different.
That's Peter Sweeney, the Commissioner of Community Services for the area. He says people will move in here any day now.
This is one of the tiny homes. It's about 10 by 10. It's metal construction, air conditioned, heated, fireproof, very well made.
You know, where did the idea of the little houses come from?
I'd say this entire idea has been inspired by what we've learned from our friends at A Better Tent City, in the idea that that people will come to places where they have their own small little pace. And so that's where it was inspired from.
These tiny houses may become the new way municipalities try to solve the problem of chronic homelessness. I want to understand what it's like to live in one of them.
Oh, this is my home. Come on in.
Back at A Better Tent City, I meet Joe Lima, and he invites me inside his house.
Come on in, gentlemen.
Wow.
This is my little home. This is storage up here. I've built a little shelf here. Gives me a little more space where I can put my cereals and things like that. This is my fridge. I mounted into the wall, which gives me a lot more room.
What's that there?
The camera I bought off a friend of mine because I had a little wagon outside and somebody stole it. So I put a camera up and now I can catch anybody.
Joe used to own his own house, but because of addiction and, well, life, he lost everything. He's been living here for a year now. What is coming and living here? What's it done for you?
Well, it's changed my life. You know, I come here with not much to live for. I was not going to do anything stupid, you know, but really depressed. And this place has brought me thinking better about life, everything else, and it's brought me back to my old, getting my old ways back, where I'm insulting my friends, you know, and stuff like that. So I'm feeling good about myself lately. I'm smiling again, you know, even though I'm missing my teeth, right? But yeah, I'm happier now than I have been a year ago, yes.
Joe tells me he's a heavy machinery operator and that he's ready to move out.
But I'm planning to get back to work, and it's just a matter of time, right? I'm looking for a job right now. Get back to work and, you know, pass this wonderful little cabin to somebody that deserves it and is willing to give me a $500,000 for it.
If Joe moves out, maybe that'll be the best example of how the stability this place provides helps people.
Hey, what's up, Nadine? A Better Tent City.
Nadine tells me that in the last 3 years, 4 people have left and gotten their own apartments.
I always feel proud when I'm walking anywhere in here. People may think proud of this. Yes, we are proud of this. We can help people, Canadians. A Better Tent City's home. A Better Tent City is my life. It's everything.
Nick Purdon, CBC News, Kitchener-Waterloo.
The Tiny Home Initiative does have its critics. Some say the $2.4 million spent in Kitchener-Waterloo would be better used on rent supplements and getting people into housing with plumbing. Coming up, another initiative hopes to bring Black tech leaders to the forefront. But first, I speak with the Canadian making a splash on American Idol. Next. Emma Busse's voice definitely stands out from a crowd. The 20-year-old Canadian is now in the top 24 of American Idol after blowing away judges again and again, but it hasn't always been an easy road.
That slow vibrato has to go.
Now she has her sights set on winning it all in Hollywood.
I'm about to lose my...
Emma is from BC, but is joining us tonight from LA as taping for the show continues. Welcome, Emma, and congrats on making it into the top 24. What has this whole experience been like for you so far?
First off, thank you so much. Second off, it's been insane. I honestly didn't think I would get to this point at all. I'm so grateful for it though, all of it. It's been amazing. It's also been such a learning curve for me. I've just never experienced even just being on live TV or cameras or anything like that before, so it's been a lot, but it's been amazing at the same time.
Yeah, a lot happening really quickly. I know I feel this sense of pride. You're from BC, from Burnaby, and the other Canadian still running is Tyson Venegas, also from BC. You're sort of the Team Canada on American Idol. Fans can't actually vote outside of the U.S., but do you feel like your country is rooting for you?
Oh, I totally do. Yeah, I totally do. I've been getting an overwhelming amount of support from Vancouver and Burnaby, all the greater kind of areas that I wasn't really expecting. It was super, super, super kind. It was overwhelming, but in a good way, you know, like I just so grateful for all the hometown support.
Now, Emma, you won a gold ticket to get where you are now, Hollywood, but your audition was a little bit tense with Katy Perry. She asked you to actually change your approach. I want to take a look at that now.
Get it out of you. Just smack it out of you. Smack it out of you. Get all that Broadway out of you. You can be saved from the thespians.
Okay, so I think you sound amazing. But when Katy said that to you, did you feel like it was all over?
You know what? In the moment, I didn't know what was gonna happen, honestly, because I just was reveling of the fact of seeing like Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and like Luke Bryan in front of me. So I was kind of just like floating through the whole experience. It kind of all hit me after I got out of the room, but I think honestly, I didn't have a lot of expectations going into it. Like I didn't really know if I was gonna get a golden ticket or not. I kind of was just like, you know what, I'm gonna sing and see what happens. But I was super grateful for kind of their expertise and kind of just guiding me through, what they thought about my voice and the kind of theatrical aspects that, my performance and that my voice brought to it and how to kind of tweak it.
But they actually had you redo it and you were able to change what they wanted you to change. How were you able to do that so quickly, and how have you been learning along the way to do all these different genres?
Yeah, well, actually, something that my theater training taught me was to kind of quickly change into different stylistic kind of genres of music, and also specifically for your voice, like because I had to do a lot of opera singing. I had to do a lot of jazz standard type singing. So I was used to being told to change, stylistically your voice for different types of singing. And so when they told me to do that, I kind of went into autopilot a bit, and I was like, okay, you know what? This is what my instructors have told me in school. So I'm just gonna, try to change it on the dime. And I tried to do the best that I could. And yeah, so.
You got a ticket, so it worked.
Yeah.
During one of your performances, Katy Perry called it top 10 material while you were singing. So the pressure to win, the ups and the downs, it's got to be a lot. With the other Canadian competitor, Tyson, do you lean on each other for support, or is it all competition?
Oh, totally lean on each other for support. Yeah, I've made so many friends. All of them, all the contestants that I've met throughout this entire journey, I've become friends with. It really doesn't feel like a competition. You know what I mean? I know at the end of the day, it technically is, but like, it doesn't feel like that when you're in it. And yeah, specifically with Tyson, we really like bonded over the fact that I'm pretty sure live like 20 minutes away from each other or something like that. And we had no idea, like,
Yeah, which might be surprising to some people, but I know Tyson has said that it's been hard to watch some of your friends get kicked off, even though you are moving forward. So nice to see that you have each other's backs. You know, American Idol first premiered more than 20 years ago. You were not even born yet. What has it been like being on a show that you maybe grew up watching?
Oh, totally grew up watching it. It's so surreal. I honestly, I have vivid memories of me watching it with my family and seeing the exact same judges, you know, doing the exact same things that I ended up doing. And I did like fantasize when I was younger, like picturing myself up there and seeing like, oh, would I get a golden ticket, blah, 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 you know? And it is really surreal to have it happen. But yeah, so it's kind of like a full circle moment. And I feel like that's similar to a lot of contestants who grew up watching the show, you know? But yeah.
For sure, a lot of emotions. Well, we're super excited for you. Can't wait to watch what happens. So good luck and go Team Canada.
Yes, go Team Canada. Thank you so much.
Now, I actually spoke to Emma earlier today, and since then we've learned that she didn't make it into the top 20, but still a big accomplishment, and good luck to Tyson. From the microphone to the dance floor, this Canadian is performing a jig for joy.
That's Mackenzie Mahler from Blakey O'Brien, Western Region, Canada.
The Irish dancing champion from Calgary in our moment. Networks, support, and money, all things an entrepreneur needs to launch and grow their business, and all things Black startups struggle to access. But as Nisha Patel shows us, a program at a Canadian university wants to change that.
For these young entrepreneurs, the pressure is on.
Hi, my name is Edo Adoz, and I'm the co-founder of GF.
They're making a pitch to a panel of industry experts and could walk away with thousands of dollars to grow their business.
So far, I've been working on this by myself.
It's part of the Black Innovation Summit put on by the DMZ, a tech incubator at Toronto Metropolitan University. Emmanuel Akindele is up next.
With the $20,000, our goal is to use that to launch Blue Guardian to over 50,000 kids.
One of the first of its kind in the country, the program has been connecting Black founders with money and mentors.
I can relate to their life stories, I can relate to the challenges, and we can pull solutions from each other.
In the short term, the goal is to grow and reach more entrepreneurs. But in the long run, there's hope the startup scene will become diverse enough that the program is no longer necessary.
Now we're all sort of on an equal footing, have the same access to resources, capital, knowledge.
Entrepreneur Mark Lafleur faced those challenges firsthand. He says it's common for Black startups to be underfunded because investors, known as VCs, often only back people in their existing networks.
At the end of the day, the VC industry has been known to be, pale, stale, and male.
Lafleur successfully sold his business True Local in 2021 and says programs like the Black Innovation Summit are essential.
It's going to inspire more, youth today that are Black to get into business.
Akindele is building a mental health app for youth. He says trying to get a business off the ground is especially tough early on.
There's just a lot of doors that are not always going to be open.
Luckily, he's the big winner and says these funds will be a game changer.
Trying to grow our company, get our app in the hands of as many kids as possible.
Because when you're just getting started, every dollar counts. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
You're looking at another big winner. Mackenzie Mahler from Calgary was crowned the World Irish Dancing Champion earlier this month. She needed rhythm, timing, and precision to impress the judges and beat out the very best from around the world. A childhood dream come true is our moment.
I think it's the closest thing to flying. It's the best feeling ever. I started dancing at 6 years old. I was probably about 8 years old. I think I declared to my dancing teacher, you know, I want to win the World Championships someday. The World Championships is basically the Olympics of Irish dancing. It's truly a privilege to just be at the World Championships, let alone, you know, get to win a title.
That's Mackenzie Mahler.
Timing and rhythm are extremely important, and then carriage, posture, just presentation, foot placement. They announce the results in reverse order. You know, the tension builds as they're announcing the results, and we were all holding our breath. And so when it wasn't my number in second place, it was just such a release. Relief and excitement. I think we all screamed and cried and were hugging each other. It was just one of the best moments, probably, of my life. I love it with every fiber of my being.
Yeah, well, there's no question she's got rhythm. And as a terrible dancer myself, I'm always deeply impressed by anybody who can move like that. So congratulations. It's clear tonight that Canada has got some talent in a lot of categories. That's the National for April 23rd. Have a good night.